The Nightbeat starts right now.
Something needs to be done because this drug is killing our children.
It is a nightmare that is now a reality for one family. The medical examiner's toxicology report confirming their 17-year-old daughter died of a fentanyl overdose.
That's right. Veronica and Danielle Caprosi lost their daughter Danica 3 months ago, and since then they have worked to find the person who sold her the drug and also to change state and federal laws.
She tried to ease her mind and somebody poisoned her.
Very hard to process because I knew my daughter didn't want to die.
The Caprosis believe their daughter may have been trying to get Xanax, the prescription drug that's sometimes used to treat insomnia. Experts say fentanyl deaths are rising because the drug is hidden in other drugs that people are taking.
And there could be an option to help save lives, and it's fentanyl test strips. The strips are used to test drugs for signs of fentanyl to prevent overdoses.
The White House actually approved the use of these tests, but they're illegal in a lot of states, including Texas. The Night Team's Patty Santos tells us why we may hear more about them in the upcoming legislative session.
There have been a lot of accidental deaths, and they could have been prevented if we really just would have taken the time to, say, decriminalize something such as these test strips.
Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett talks about her disappointment on her failure to legalize the use of fentanyl testing strips during the last legislative session.
Want to engage in what we would consider to be harm reduction by basically saying, hey, we want to take these testing strips so that people that are potentially addicted to oxy, but not trying to get fentanyl, can make sure that what they're using is, I hate to say safe, but safe enough, so to speak, and non-deadly.
In Texas, the strips are considered drug paraphernalia. Crockett's bill would have decriminalized penalties for possessing drug paraphernalia. In the last year, conservative states like Louisiana, Alabama, and Tennessee legalized their use.
There are a number of members on my side of the aisle that have asked to carry the bill.
With a sharp rise in fentanyl-related deaths from about 200 in 2014 to more than 1,600 in 2021, Crockett feels strongly someone will carry what she calls a common sense bill.
I think that we may end up with some traction. They may try to change the bill a little bit and make it specific for fentanyl strips.
And just today, the Wisconsin Health Department announced it would distribute more than 120,000 fentanyl test strips to organizations in that state as a way to reduce drug overdose deaths. Well, here in Bexar County, several organizations are already taking part in harm reduction, making clean needles and Narcan available. So distributing those strips, once legalized, could be easy. Steve, Stefania.
Patty, thank you. In other news, the man convicted for a fatal hit and run that killed a father and daughter on New Year's Day is now sentenced to 20 years in prison. 21-year-old Cesar Gonzalez pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter and 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That crash happened back in 2020, and according to court records, Gonzalez was driving 85 miles an hour when he hit a minivan that was backing out of a driveway. 31-year-old Jesus Aguilar Jr. and 14-year-old Christina Spahn died as a result of that. 2 other children were also injured in that crash.
Thousands of people heading to the U.S. from Venezuela could be forced to turn around now that the Biden administration has changed its immigration policy. Venezuelans who try to walk or swim across the border will be turned back to Mexico. As the Night Team's John Paul Barajas explains, the change caught many off guard. But there is another option.
Thank God we arrived 3 days before that went into effect.
Angel Avila and his family made it to the migrant center here in San Antonio after a dangerous journey from Venezuela to the U.S.
The rivers were up to here, and we had to pass them one by one, carrying the bags. It was hard.
He's counting his blessings that his family made it when they did and that they made it together. Prior to the Biden administration's latest policy change, Venezuelans weren't subject to Title 42. This week's announcements changed that. Title 42 allows the U.S. to turn migrants away at the border in an effort to slow down the spread of COVID-19.
Hay bastante familia que vienen por ahí.
I feel bad because there were so many families who came into the country to survive, to not die in that country. So it's sad to hear the news that we're getting.
The Biden administration says it'll accept 24,000 Venezuelans at airports. However, they must pass a background check and have financial support here in the U.S. The Department of Homeland Security adds those who do cross the border without authorization will not only be returned to Mexico, but will also be ineligible to apply to come to the U.S. in the future. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Renewals will continue for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA, also known as Dreamers. A federal judge's ruling comes as the program faces a legal challenge from Texas and several other states. The lawsuit alleges the program was created without congressional approval and says the Obama administration exceeded its authority. More than 600,000 so-called Dreamers are enrolled in the program, which allows them to work in the U.S. legally without fear of deportation. The question still remains if former President Donald Trump will testify after being subpoenaed during the investigation into the January 6th deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. Trump responding today, denouncing that investigation as a show trial. He also called it a witch hunt, but not challenging the details of their findings and not addressing if he will comply with their subpoena. As part of our KSAT Q&A, we spoke with UTSA Political Science Department Chair Dr. John Taylor about the likelihood that Trump would testify.
Trump's attorneys will have to hold him down if necessary to prevent him from testifying. They would be nuts not to, in the sense of letting him testify. He would probably damage himself even more, given all the other stuff he's facing from Mar-a-Lago, the FBI seizure there.
To watch the rest of our interview analyzing the January 6th latest hearing, you can head to KSAT.com.
And now for a look at your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. All helping hands are welcome tomorrow in Uvalde. Crews are going to put together a new playground at De Leon Park. Kaboom, a national nonprofit that aims to bring play equipment to underserved communities, designed it. Although the families of the Robb Elementary School victims got some say in that, too. Now, volunteers of all ages, yes, you are welcome. There's also going to be food, a DJ, activities for kids, and the work starts tomorrow morning at 8:30. A water tower rehabilitation is changing the landscape around Castle Hill, so you've likely noticed the tower at West Avenue Northwest Military covered now from top to bottom. Saws is rehabbing it. It's going to sandblast and then paint it. And when Saws is done, the tower will no longer bear the city of Castle Hill's name. A San Antonio man facing drug and weapons charges after deputies found meth in his car. This happened in Kirk County. The Kirk County Sheriff's Office says 27-year-old Rafael Cifuentes was arrested during a traffic stop. Deputies say that a canine officer found nearly 130 grams of meth and 2 handguns. One of those handguns was reported stolen in San Antonio. Now his bond is set at $120,000. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Luther's Cafe. It's well known in San Antonio's gay district. It could be a thing of the past, though. The plan's in place now to try and keep the doors open.
Also, we continue our coverage of the deadly mass shooting out of Raleigh, North Carolina. We're going to break down what happened and also what we know about the victims tonight. Investigators still trying to figure out what led to the deadly mass shooting in Raleigh, North Carolina. We broke this story for you last night on the Nightbeat. Now, tonight we know the suspect is just 15 years old. Police say the teen opened fire on a street and then walked over to a nature trail. Once it was over, 7 people were hurt. 5 of them have since died, including a 16-year-old high school junior, a mother of 3, and an off-duty officer. A law enforcement official tells ABC News that the suspect is related to one of the people who was killed.
Luther's Cafe has been shut down for nearly a week, and now the owner is considering whether or not he wants to sell. The restaurant in the city's gay district shared an update on its Facebook page. It says several issues are to blame, including staffing, maintenance, and parking problems, as well as food and liquor price increases. Luther's plans to work with San Antonio College and its new landlord to make some potential changes before making a final decision. Luther's Cafe, by the way, first opened back in 1949. It's changed locations, but goes back a ways.
Okay, now we're taking a live look outside. 79 degrees right now. And, I'm just thinking about what the weather is going to be like at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow when you have all those volunteers going to De Leon Park in Uvalde to build that park there.
It's going to be unseasonably warm, but pleasant and fine outside. We'll be right around 70 degrees in the morning all across our area. Actually, take a look at our morning low temperatures and the trend that's headed toward us. Get ready for a strong cold front that hits Sunday night and paves the way for a very fall-like feel next week. By Wednesday morning, we're talking jacket weather at 50 degrees, actually Wednesday and Thursday of next week. The colder air is out there. You can see it in the Northland. Omaha 39, Minneapolis 35, International Falls at 30. That cooler air is going to be working its way southward. It'll modify, of course, before it makes it here. So we're not talking 30s, but it will put a big dent in our temperatures, as I showed you, especially in the morning hours once we get into next week. Some jacket weather by midweek at the bus stop. Right now, anything but jacket weather. 80 in Hondo and Pleasanton, 77 in Gonzales, 80 in Uvalde, and we feel the humidity. Dew points are on the rise, and you'll notice that mugginess all weekend long. The temperatures, though, for the most part, right around the 80-degree mark, give or take a little bit. And this weekend, we're talking mornings right near 70, then afternoon highs right around the 90-degree mark. Warm, muggy, above average for this time of year. The average high is 83, and a southeasterly wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday and Sunday, pretty much identical. It's once we get into late Sundays, but Sunday night on into Monday morning, that's when things change. Not only will temperatures change, but rain chances go up. Notice we'll go from near 90 this weekend to 70 for the high temperature on Monday. And then once we progress through next week, despite a lot of sunshine and blue skies, we're only looking at highs in the low to mid 70s. So a big change. And if you've been waiting for the fall-like real October weather, it's on the way. All right, let's talk about our overall weather pattern. Earlier today, a few showers closer to the Gulf coastline. As usual, far east of San Antonio along the coastal plain. Otherwise, some high thin clouds streaming in from the Pacific. They're coming in and arcing around parts of New Mexico and coming overhead. And that's out in advance of this upper level disturbance that's spinning, that counterclockwise circulation near Los Angeles. That's going to be heading our way and combine with the cold front. So we'll have the cold front at the ground, and then upper level support above us to help stir things up and I think give us the right ingredients for some good areas of rain Sunday night and especially off and on through the day Monday. Fast forwarding our futurecast, this is Sunday night, 11 p.m. Yes, some areas of rain possible in our area, but most of it should hold off until early on Monday morning and then just be intermittent in nature, coming and going. Areas of rain, a few downpours, a few cracks of thunder and lightning here and there. And I do think that's just going to be the case off and on throughout the day on Monday. 1 to 2 inches likely in several neighborhoods with the chance of some localized amounts up to 3 inches. So cross your fingers for your neighborhood on Monday. Also a bit windy and then low humidity thereafter. Tuesday of next week all the way into the upcoming following weekend and that fall-like crisp feel in the air.
Crisp.
Yes.
All right, Adam. Thank you.
All right, it's a Friday night showdown that maybe wasn't quite as close as some people thought.
Well, Alamo Heights is just a dominating force, particularly in this particular district where they self-admit they don't belong. But nonetheless, they play the games. The big game in our big game coverage tonight was for the lead in District 14-5A Division 2, and FanCam has to run the option tonight. We'll explain coming up.
Hi, we're the Alamo Heights cheerleaders, and you're watching big game coverage on KSAT 12.
The Harlandale Indians came into tonight's big game in our big game coverage with the exact same record as Alamo Heights, 5-1 overall, 5-0 in district. First quarter, and the Mules are kicking. Running back Bennett Flesher here gets it on the delayed handoff. He bursts through the line, then races to the outside. It's a foot race, but no one's going to get him. The 44-yard touchdown makes it 7-0 Heights. Mules are not done. They're on the Indians' 20-yard line. Quarterback Conley McKenna standing in the pocket, fires over the middle to Red Anderson, 14-0 after a Mules interception. They're on the Harlandale 11-yard line. McKenna finds Henry Robeson in the end zone, and it's 21-0 Alamo Heights at halftime. Alamo Heights takes it 48-0.
It was great, man. It was, both teams 5-0 coming in, big game. and our boys really showed how we can play. So I'm really proud of the defense. They played lights out tonight. Really proud of them. Early struggles with the offense, but we got that turned around.
All right, the Brendan Bears looking to hang on number 2 in 12 top 12 against the Stevens Falcons, already up 45-0 over the Falcons. When we arrive, Brendan with the ball on the Falcons' 2-yard line. Running back Nathan Toney's number is called. He delivers. He muscles his way in for the score. Stevens up 52-0. Let's see if that has gone final, and it has, 59-0. The Taft Raiders putting their number 6 ranking on the line against Sotomayor Wildcats. Raiders in the red zone. They set up in the Wildcat. The snap goes to running back T.J. Andrews, and he takes off here right, getting around the corner, lowers his shoulder, blasts through the would-be tackler out of his way. 16-yard touchdown made it 7-0. The final from Ferris. Taft takes it 37-0. Smithson Valley making the trip to San Antonio tonight to face MacArthur at Hero Stadium. The Rangers strike first on the MAC 4-yard line. Running back Doug Lance takes a handoff, makes a move to the inside, plows his way in for the score. 4-yard touchdown made it 7-0 Rangers. First year for both schools in 5A. Now let's go to the big game coverage scoreboard for the first time tonight to see if that has gone final. It has, 63-3 for Smithson Valley, 59-0 Brennan over Stevens. Elsewhere, Alamo Heights shuts out Harlandale, 48-0. Taft over Sotomayor, 37-0. The Clemens student section at Lenhoff Stadium was rocking to see the Buffaloes take on the Judson Rockets. Game tied at 7 in the first. When we arrived, Clemens with the ball on the Judson 16. Running back Cabron Miles takes a handoff, gets around the corner, turns up upfield, gets 10 yards to help set this up. Nathan Alvarez to Jameer Dudley in the end zone to go-ahead score, 40-7. The final from Lenhoff, it is still in the fourth. It is 27-24 Judson. New Braunfels enters the Hornets' nest tonight, taking on East Central, District 27-6A. Home team trying to rally down 21-6 early in the fourth quarter. Quarterback Austin Veer keeps it himself, dodges the defender, plows over the goal line for the 2-yard score. Extra point is good to make it 21-13. Final from the Hive, 35-13 New Braunfels. Southwest Legacy on the road tonight at Cardinal Stadium, take on Southside, ranked 8 in 12 top 12. Cardinals defense putting on a show. Titans quarterback scrambles out of the pocket, looking, under pressure, fires it, but Diego Gutierrez jumps in front of the would-be receiver for the interception, and he's going down the sideline, taking it all the way back, 38 yards to the pick six. Southside gets the 2-point conversion, 8-0. Back to the big game coverage scoreboard now for that final. Southside with the win, 29-7. Southwest over Medina Valley, 21-12 at Dragon Stadium. Clemens is losing. That has gone final. That has just gone final, 27-24. Justin gets a win on that one. And New Braunfels over East Central, 35-13. Roosevelt cheerleaders looking for an upset tonight against number 5 Brandeis. When we arrive, Brandeis is up 20-9 in the second quarter, and they want more. Broncos on the Roosevelt 14-yard line. Quarterback J.C. Evans finds Jalen Baker in the flat, turns it upfield for the touchdown. They go for 2, didn't get it. Broncos 26-9, and Brandeis wins it 33-23. Bastrop making a long trip down Highway 21 to 35 before pulling into Converse to face Veterans Memorial tonight at Rutledge Stadium. The Bastrop Bears on the attack, opening kickoff. They go for the onside kick. They recover. It's the kicker James Ramon who recovers it. The Bears make the most of the turnover. Running back Demir Thompson scores from 3 yards out. They miss the extra point, 6-0. The final from Rutledge, it is Veterans Memorial coming back to win that one, 44-32. Some future McCollum cheerleaders having some fun with the Cowboys mascot, tugging at his mustache. Second quarter, McCollum down 7-6, but not for long. Quarterback Justin Rodriguez keeps it on the option to find some daylight, turns it up for the 9-yard score. 13-7 Cowboys. Final from Harlandale Memorial, 21-19. Sam Houston comes back to win that one. The Brackenridge Eagles, the home team tonight at Alamo Stadium when they face Lanier Bogues. Lanier on the Brack 19-yard line. Quarterback Santiago Gallegos takes a snap, drops back, fires into the end zone. He finds Vicente Chacon go up and make the great grab for the touchdown. That's a heck of a catch. 7-0 Lanier. Let's go back to the big game coverage scoreboard to see if that has gone final. It has. Brackenridge comes back to win that one, 22-19. Sam Houston also another comeback, 21-19 over McCollum. Roosevelt falls to Brandeis, 33-23, and Veterans Memorial over Bastrop, 44-32. Wild scene in the Antonio student section tonight. Push-ups for points, but on the fence line as Antonio was up 21-7 over Central Catholic in the third. The Apaches extend that lead right here. Quarterback Jace Toscano standing tall in the pocket, looking for the feed down the field, and he finds Raleigh Strode wide open down the middle, and his foot race. Strode races in untouched for the 65-yard touchdown, 28-7 Antonian. The final 42-14 Antonian. The Rocket cheerleaders welcome us to Edgewood Veterans Stadium to see Kennedy take on Uvalde. Third quarter, the Rockets are up 15-14, but the Coyotes are on the hunt. Abram Ale takes the pitch on the option. He finds a little room to get down to the Rockets' 1-yard line. Next play, Ale lines up in the Wildcat, takes the snap, powers his way in for the touchdown. Uvalde goes for 2. They get it. it, and they go up 22-15, and they take it 22-17. Both teams' mascots holding hands on the sideline today as they prepare for the IB Bowl. Third quarter, Jefferson up 14-7, but the Bulldogs bite back at Burbank. Running back Robert Martinez slips out of the tackle in the backfield, breaks free, turns the corner, races in for the 15-yard score to tie the game at 14-all. Let's see how that one finishes. Back to the big game coverage scoreboard. Burbank pulls out the victory over the mighty Mustangs 20-14. Uvalde over Kennedy 22-17. Elsewhere, San Marcos losing to Steele 49-14. Of course, Steele is number 1, and Antonian over Central Catholic 42-14. We are just getting started. Up next, our big game coverage road trip, fan cam, and more highlights and more scores. But first, let's listen to the Clemens Buffaloes marching band. Our big game coverage road trip has Larry and photographer Eddie Latigo in the Hill Country with stops in Bandera, Bernie, and TMI. And let's take it live right now to Panther Country. That's where we find our Larry Ramirez for the Panthers.
Hey, Greg, how are you doing tonight? You know what? The weather was awesome for big game coverage, and the action on the field was equally as awesome. Let's start with a district matchup in Bandera. It's District 14 4A2. The Bandera Bulldogs looking to bite the Pearsall Mavericks tonight. Late first quarter, no score, Bandera ball. Handoff goes to senior running back Jesus Cardenas, and he's got touchdown on his mind, but the Mavs tackle him at the 5 after a 44-yard gain. 3 plays later, QB Riley Haley play action pass to Isaac Segura. 2-yard touchdown, and Bandera led 7-0 with 3:02 left in the first quarter. Time for us to go. Up next, the Wagner Thunderbirds at Bernie champion. Second quarter, Wagner knocking on the door. Cameron Smith keeps it, and he gets lit up by Evan Cool. WWE great Bill Goldberg is pumped up for the big time hit. His son Gage plays for champion. 2 plays later, Jeremiah Cherry scores from 1 yard out, and Wagner led 40-0 at halftime. It's time to do the Panther Rumble at TMI per the cheerleaders' request. Panthers hosting San Antonio Christian. Third quarter, Panthers ball. Handoff goes to Armand Gardner. He hits the corner, then he hits third, fourth, and fifth gear, and he's going the distance. 66-yard touchdown for Gardner. Point after was blocked. TMI led 18-14. Let's go to that road trip scoreboard now for the finals. Bandera takes it 29-22. Wagner gets the dub 47-7. Right here, San Antonio Christian gets a win 21-18. And before we go, I have to go back to Bandera and say thank you to Grill Master Ray Salas for the sausage wraps and bottles of water. Greg, he went to Jefferson High School with you, so that makes him a cool dude and a mighty Mustang.
He
Greg?
sure is. Thanks a lot, Larry. Time now for Fan Cam, where your fans help us cover one of the big games in our big game coverage tonight. Here's our Andrew Seeley.
Lavernia had to call an audible before the game even started due to a water main break. Their home game against Floresville was moved 20 minutes down the road to Eschenberg Field. The Bears still wearing their home blues, and they play like it. Second quarter, Lavernia up 3-0. Senior quarterback Stratton Hayes keeps it himself, finding some running room for a 17-yard pickup. That sets up first and goal at the 7. 2 plays later, Hayes keeps it again, powering into the line, and he stays on his feet for the 3-yard touchdown. That's the only TD of the first half as Lavernia leads 10-0.
And FanCam departs at halftime with Lavernia leading Floresville 10-3. From Eschenberg Field, Andrew Seeley, KSAT 12 Sports.
All right, let's take a look at that final score there, Andrew. It has not gone final yet. Still in the fourth, Lavernia is leading Floresville 70-9 after that audible having to move the game to Floresville due to that water main break. And Canyon Lake over Davenport 38-35. UTSA Roadrunners are right now on the road. Their game is still in progress. I think it has just now gone final. And there you see it. UTSA beats Florida International by a final score of 30-10. They were 33.5-point favorites going into that game. And it was a very tight game in that first half. They didn't break it open to the second half.
You just take the W.
The win is a win, right? You got it.
Thanks.
Thank you. We'll be right back after this.
Before we go tonight, want to tell you the wait is over for student loan borrowers. The federal government now accepting applications for its debt relief program. The website went live sometime tonight. Those who are eligible can have up to $20,000 in federal loans discharged. Eligibility based on 2020 or 2021 income. We have a link right now at KSAT.com.
All right, tomorrow afternoon, right around 90 degrees, give or take. West side of town, 93, but you get to Bernie, Bulverde, 89. You get the idea. And the same story as we go on into Sunday. You'll notice the humidity. Strong cold front, real deal front hits Sunday night. Paves the way for a fall-like week next week. And good rain Monday.
Crisp. Can't wait for that. Thank you.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
We'll see you on Monday.